You won't believe how many people tried to warn us. They said it was just a medical issue, bad timing, nothing more. But the deeper you dig into Heavy D's death, the harder that story is to believe. Because the truth, it's surrounded by eerie timing, missing pieces, and a growing list of people who were about to speak up, and then suddenly vanished. What do they all have in common? Uptown Records. And they were all working on tell-all books. Heavy D had just stepped back into the spotlight. He gave the kind of performance you don't forget. Pure energy, joy, charisma. Then days later, gone. Just like that. At first, whispers floated quietly through the industry. About pressure, about silence, about what it really costs to walk away and speak the truth. And one by one, people connected to one of music's most powerful circles started disappearing. But let's start here. Has anything ever happened to Diddy? Because if you go down this rabbit hole, a pattern starts to show. People who built Uptown Records from the ground up, gone. People who were close to the empire, gone. People who knew too much or were ready to talk, gone. Yet somehow, one man is still standing in the middle of the chaos, untouched. Coincidence? Or is there something much darker at play? The official story is that Heavy D died of a pulmonary embolism, a blood clot in his lungs, likely from a long flight back from London. Sounds plausible, right? That's what they told us. He had heart disease, maybe pneumonia, a little cough syrup in his system. But none of that should have killed him outright. And that's where things get weird. Because Heavy D wasn't just some rapper from the past trying to make a comeback. He was in the best shape he'd been in years. He lost over 135 pounds, became a father, stepped away from toxic deals. He wasn't spiraling. He was glowing, smiling, focused. And suddenly, he collapses in front of his Beverly Hills condo. Let's rewind. Just weeks earlier, he blew the roof off the BET Hip Hop Awards with a medley of his greatest hits. Then flew to London to perform at a Michael Jackson tribute concert, his first big international show in 15 years. The comeback was real. Fans were hyped. Heavy was back. But behind the scenes, he was working on something else. Something dangerous. A tell-all book. And he wasn't the only one. Kim Porter was writing a memoir before she died. Andre Harrell was reportedly planning to share everything he knew. Al B. Sure? He was working on a documentary, then suddenly slipped into a coma. Heavy D? Gone before that book ever saw the light of day. And guess what? All of them were tied to Uptown Records. All connected to one man. The deeper this goes, the more questions pop up. Why did Kim Porter's initial coroner report allegedly say homicide, only to be revised quietly? Why didn't Diddy ever speak up about Heavy D's death? No tribute, no real public grief. Just silence. Like they were never close, when history tells a different story. See, without Heavy D, there might not be a Diddy. He was the one who vouched for a young intern named Sean back in the Uptown days. He helped lay the foundation for that empire. And in the end, all he got was silence. Even stranger? Rumors about life insurance policies started swirling fast. Big ones. Ones that might have made someone a lot of money if Heavy was gone. Some insiders believe he was poisoned. Others think his medical response was delayed on purpose. And even though no illegal drugs were found in his system, people kept pushing the overdose narrative, hoping it would stick. But here's what makes it all more chilling. It keeps happening. The moment someone close to Diddy starts writing a book or gaining momentum, something tragic happens. Andre Harrell, heart attack. Kim Porter, pneumonia with mysterious toxins. Al B. Sure, coma. Heavy D, a clot out of nowhere. When did these stop being coincidences? Even the people who survived don't speak much anymore. There's fear in their eyes, in their silence. Because the second you mention speaking out, the danger begins. Jaguar right? She screamed it from the rooftops. Said they have poisons that mimic natural causes. Said this isn't random. Said Diddy's name again and again. But this story doesn't end with Heavy D's death. It gets even messier. After he passed, his estate got mishandled, badly. His brother Floyd stepped in with a decades-old will that gave him everything. Not his daughter, not his parents. Just him. And for a while, nobody questioned it. But then the money started disappearing. Floyd sold the Beverly Hills condo. After all the fees, he and the estate each got $140,000. Know how much his daughter got? $17,000. From a $1 million sale. He paid himself fees, dipped into funds, bought appliances, covered his own bills, until finally, a judge stepped in and kicked him out. Only then did his daughter start getting what she was owed. So ask yourself this: did someone want Heavy D gone not just to silence him, but to take what he left behind? It's heartbreaking, because this wasn't a man in decline. This was someone who had found peace, clarity, purpose. He walked away from the machine, then came back on his own terms. He started his own label, made the music he wanted, had a daughter he adored, and still, someone or something cut it short. On October 2011, he gave what would be his final performance. The crowd went crazy. It felt like the start of a new chapter. But just weeks later, he collapsed outside his home and never got back up. Was it health? Was it foul play? Was it someone trying to erase a truth that hadn't yet been told? One thing's clear: when too many people connected to the same person vanish right before they reveal their stories, something isn't right. And if all this makes you uncomfortable, good. It should, because this isn't just about Heavy D, it's about the system, the secrets, the silence. Now, what do you think? Was this just a medical tragedy, or the final chapter in a story someone didn't want finished? If you're still here, thanks for sticking around. Hit that like button if this gave you something to think about, and drop a comment. Let's talk about it. And if you want more deep dives into the truths they don't want told, you already know what to do. Subscribe, stay curious, stay safe, and don't stop asking questions.